Experience of putting 200 miles into this shoe. Sorry. Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Hope you are managing to stay safe and well in these difficult times. We are back today with another video for your entertainment pleasure. Last time we did a video like this on the channel, it went down really well. So today we are giving our 200-mile shoe review on the HOKA ONE Rincon. Back when we did our initial 50-mile review on the Rincon, the shoe ran and scored really high on the channel. It was Halloween at the time, so we did a bit of a crazy Halloween special. We spent a lot of time and a lot of effort on that shoe review. So if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. Putting another 150 miles into the Rincon after the initial review has really been a pleasurable experience. I've enjoyed every single step I've taken in it. It's been my go-to road shoe for some time now. When we did the lockdown marathon a few weeks ago, this was the shoe I ran the marathon in. I really feel the shoe reminds me of some of the older HOKA shoes I used to love to run in. The first being the original Tracer. I love this shoe. I did all aspects of my running in this shoe, from 10K all the way up to 12-hour events. It always performed well. This shoe has done about 700 miles and I still run in it now. I had about 4 or 5 pairs of these. Unfortunately, when it got an update to the Tracer 2, I didn't really get on with that shoe. It never felt the same again. But a great running shoe, still super comfy. The other shoe that the Rincon reminds me of was my first HOKA shoe, and it was the original HOKA ONE. This shoe, wow, boy have I got some memories in this shoe. This was my first ever HOKA experience, and I remember the first 2 or 3 runs like it was yesterday. That lightweight feel, that level of comfort and cushioning, that rocking midsole. It was like a shoe I'd never run in before. It gave me a lot of confidence in my road running. It was actually the shoe, and actually this pair of shoes, that I did my first ever sub 3-hour marathon in. So I've got lots of fond memories in this shoe. This particular shoe has run 1,000 miles plus and I still wear it today. If I'm doing an event, on a looped event where I've got opportunity to change my shoes, when I start to struggle towards the end of that long event, I always put this shoe on and it's still like running in a pair of slippers. I really love this shoe. Unfortunately, they don't make it anymore, which is a real big shame. But that's enough of me waffling on about my HOKA shoe history. Let's get back to the Rincon. Let's get stuck in to this 200-mile review. First thing we're going to talk about when it comes to the Rincon at Run4Adventure is the initial feel and how I felt running them 200 miles in the shoe. It's been one of them running shoes, straight out of the box, super comfortable, super well fitting. And to be honest, as I put more mileage in the shoe just felt more comfortable, more fitted and more responsive. Weight of the shoe, this is a crazy lightweight shoe considering the amount of cushioning and structure you get in that midsole. But what I love about it, this lightweight engineered mesh upper, you can almost see through it. It's almost transparent, it's so thin, but durability really good. There's no wear on the flex points in the toe box. There's no overlays, no stitching coming and done. None of them things that you sometimes have found in HOKA shoes. Also, midsole and upper are still connected. They're not peeling away. Sometimes that can be quite a common problem in some HOKA shoes where the upper starts to come away from the midsole. Not happening on the Rincon at all. So even though it's light, it's very, very durable. The next thing we have to talk about, and the next thing we have loved about the Rincon, is how versatile this shoe is. I've watched a lot of reviews on the shoe and it seems to be that all the guys reviewing it have said a very similar thing. They found it a very versatile shoe. So what I mean by that is all the levels of running I've done in it, whether it be speed work, track work, race day, tempos, long runs, recovery runs, this shoe has done them all well. On the speed work, the quicker stuff, you feel super light on your feet, really, really responsive with the level of cushioning under your forefoot. But then when you slow everything down into a more recovery, longer run pace, the shoe does it just as good. It feels very comfortable under that midfoot. It feels very comfortable in the upper. So it really is a shoe that will cross over to all aspects of your running. So let's talk about how the upper has performed on the Rincon over them 200 miles. First thing I've got to say, this is a super lightweight, really stripped back upper. So sometimes when you have that in shoes, they are pretty uncomfortable over time and over distance. Not with the Rincon. Even though this is very stripped back engineered mesh, the shoe still has a really good level of cushioning and comfort. So when it comes to the tongue, you've still got a nice level of padding in there, not too much, not too little. Same around that heel collar. For me, it's just the right level of cushioning. I don't like a heel collar that's over cushioned and over padding, so the Rincon is just right for me. So when you're pushing on, running quicker, the shoe feels super lightweight, very flexible in that upper, very breathable. But then when you go to your longer runs where you're spending more time, more mileage in the shoe, the level of cushioning and padding works really well in that environment. So even though this is a very stripped back upper on the Rincon, it really has performed well in all them different areas I've run it in, and I'm really impressed. I really can't fault the upper on this shoe. Right, let's move on to the midsole of the Rincon and how that's performed over them 200 miles. I love the midsole in this shoe and the level of cushioning it gives you. Some Hokas for me are a bit too squishy soft. I'm not a lover of the Clifton, and that level of cushioning it gives you, I feel you lose a bit of energy because it's so soft. In the Rincon, this is that perfect balance. It's firm enough to be responsive but cushioned enough to give you that comfortable time over longer mileage. It's held up really well. To be honest, when I run in it now after 200 miles, it feels very similar to how it felt when I first took it out of the box. So the level of cushioning and the durability of that midsole is holding up really well after 200 miles. So as you can tell, we have really enjoyed our 200 miles in the Rincon. It's been a real pleasurable experience. The shoe is due for an update mid-summer. So it's always a time when I cross my fingers and I hope for the best that them updates aren't going to spoil a shoe that I've really enjoyed running in. What I can say about the Rincon 2 is it's pretty much identical to this shoe. There's been a few very subtle updates in the upper, so we've got some overlays around the midfoot. Apart from that, the upper, the cushioning, the midsole, the outsole are identical. So if you have enjoyed your time in the Rincon, don't worry, you're going to enjoy the Rincon 2 just as much. Lots of positives when it comes to this shoe. Unfortunately, there has been one negative, and it's a negative we highlighted in the initial 50-mile review, and it was something I really hoped that Hoka would address in the Rincon 2. Unfortunately, they haven't, and that is the exposed EVA on the midsole. If you've watched our reviews before, you know I'm not a massive fan of that on a running shoe, and this shoe does have quite a lot of wear on that outside edge. I strike quite heavy on my midfoot on the outside edge, so I tend to wear shoes quite heavy there. So if there's no rubber, I tend to chew through it pretty quick. To be fair to the Rincon, after that initial 50-mile review, there was quite a lot of wear already, and I thought it was going to eat up pretty quick, and it hasn't. It's held on, and it's not a lot worse now, but I still don't think it looks particularly good. And just by putting a bit of blown rubber, I know it's going to add a few grams, but I don't think it's really going to affect the performance of the shoe. That blown rubber would make all the difference, and it would make that outsole a lot more durable. So if anybody from Hoka is watching this video, Rincon 3 guys, let's get a little bit more blown rubber on that outsole. If anyone has watched our lockdown marathon video and watched it till the end, they will know that I ran in the Hoka Rincon and I got a massive blood blister. Just want to clear it up, I'm here praising this shoe. This shoe did not cause that blister. It was my stupidity. I wore an old pair of worn compression socks, and about halfway through the marathon, the socks split and it rolled up under my foot, causing the blister. This shoe has never given me any discomfort, any irritations or any blisters. So I just wanted to clear that up because I don't want to put anybody off about the performance of this shoe. This really is a super comfortable shoe to run in. So that is a quick insight into how we felt putting 200 miles into the Hoka Rincon. It really has been a pleasurable experience. I've loved every step. But let's wrap this review up with a quick conclusion. What I have to say, and I've said it before, but if you are after a running shoe and you can only have one running shoe, the Rincon retails at $105, which is really, really great value. It also will cross over to all aspects of your running and do them all really well. Also, the shoe is holding up brilliantly. So very durable, the upper very durable, the midsole durable. Yes, I've worn that outsole quite quick on the outside edge, but it's not affecting performance in any way, and I still think I'm going to get hundreds and hundreds of comfortable, responsive mileage out of this shoe. So if you do need a shoe to cross all them aspects, I would definitely check out the HOKA ONE Rincon. That is another review crushed at Run4Adventure. As soon as the new Rincon 2 is launched in the UK, we will be purchasing a pair, we'll be getting them 50 miles in the shoe, and we'll definitely be bringing you guys a review. But as for now, really hope you've enjoyed our 200-mile review on the Rincon. Hope you found it helpful, hope you found it useful. There is a link in the description if you want to find out any more about the Rincon or the Rincon 2 or about HOKA ONE ONE as a running brand. Please click that link. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and like the video and subscribe to the channel. You know, it means so much to us when you join the Run4Adventure family. Any comments, guys? Are you running in the Rincon? How have you found it? Have you found it super versatile, super durable? Are you looking forward to the new version of the shoe? Get them comments in the comments below. We've just uploaded a video of Run4Adventure's ultra marathon tips and advice. So if you're thinking about running an ultra or you're training for your first ultra, please go and check that video out. Also, don't forget to follow us on our other social media platforms, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, or Strava. And as always at Run4Adventure, thanks for watching, and at these troubled times, stay home, keep your distance, stay safe, and keep on running. Or as long as it's just once a day.